Hey guys, this is Tim, the Berlin Trader, and I'm back again for another crypto chart update on August 28th, 2017. So, Bitcoin is currently pressing up against that 4,400 level. It's bounced up there once, it's tested it again, and it's holding in a high, tight flag under that top resistance level, the top of that flag. We had a big run up back on the 5th of August from 2,800, 3,000 level all the way up to 4,000, around 4,500. And we're consolidating, which is only natural to digest such a big move so quickly. So I think we're going to probably be in this range between 4,400 and 4,500 for maybe a few days or a few weeks, but definitely looking for a breakout to the upside, because remember, this is a flag pattern after a breakout, and it should resolve in the direction of the trend, and the trend is up. So we're looking for a break to the upside. We could break down, but if we break down, I think a lot of buyers are going to come in, and we have that Ichimoku cloud, which gives us a bit of support there. So if we fall down below that 4,000 level, we'd look maybe for a fall down to 3,600, but honestly, my bias is to the upside. On the RSI, we have bullish momentum. It's overbought. It's above 70. A lot of people take that as a sell signal, but that is not really a good sell signal, because it means momentum is strong. And when momentum is strong, it means buy the dips, not sell the rips. So right now we're in a buy the dip situation in Bitcoin until the trend changes. So overall, cryptos look strong because Bitcoin is our most stable cryptocurrency. If that's going well, then everything else usually follows. But when Bitcoin is consolidating and going sideways, people look to other coins. So let's check out Bitcoin Cash, which forked at the beginning of this month from Bitcoin. I like to use Poloniex Bitcoin Cash BCH. Here on the daily chart, we don't have so much information. It's hard to make a pattern with so little information. But again, we have a triangle pattern forming, and the question is, which way will that break? Will it break to the upside, or will it break to the downside? That's the question. And again, I'm looking for a bullish break, because I think we're just in a bullish condition. More people are coming in, more people are getting interested. There's still a lot of growth to be had in this space. But just checking that on the 60-minute, if we look at the 60-minute, we can see a bit more detail on that chart. I'll take away the Ichimoku cloud, and we can really see that triangle, boom, boom, testing the edges of that triangle. Support, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. And we're really coming to a point. I mean, it's tried to break out a few times. A few days ago, I thought it was going to break, but it came right back in, and we're still consolidating. So just waiting for a catalyst. Could be news, could be technical, but we're just waiting for a breakout around 620, in that I have an alert set there for 620, or a breakdown below 580, 590. If we break down, I think we're going to fall down to 400. If we break out, probably going to head back up to 800, maybe 900. So this is a big monster, this Bitcoin Cash. We can expect a big move when it breaks. Right now, we're just watching. Next big contender here is Etherium, and I've been in this since the beginning or the end of July, and the beginning of August, I think, or the end of July. And let's check out the daily chart, and we see that it hit highs of 400 on the 15th or the 12th of June, and it declined all the way down to 125, and then from July 15th it's just gone right back up. And I've been in this since around 230 when it broke out of that little support area. We got a run, some consolidation, and here we are running up again at 350. If we break this 350 level, I think we're pretty good to hit 400, and that's when I think a lot of people are going to take profits. So if you're in this one, then set your target at around 400 and wait to see what happens. If it's strong, maybe it breaks through 400 and we can add some more. But all likelihood, as we've seen with all cryptos, when those targets are met, those Fibonacci levels or those all-time highs or those big numbers like 400 or 500, we just see a quick pullback really fast So you want to take your profits and get out and see how it develops. If it stays strong, get back in. But take those profits when you can. But right now we're just riding that trend line up, and doesn't seem to be giving any signs of weakness on the daily chart. Check out Litecoin. Litecoin against the dollar. We've had some, let me take away these drawings, getting annoying here. We've had a big run up in the last few days off that bottom trend line. I pointed that out a couple weeks ago, that it was bouncing off that trend line. Good time to get in, and lo and behold, boom, right back up to the top end of that range. So we could expect to maybe stick around up here for a few days, but probably in all likelihood coming back down to hit that bottom trend line again. If it breaks out of that upper trend line, then maybe we see a bigger run up to 70 or 80. But right now, as it stands, we're just comfortably in this range. So just play the range, sell at the bottom, buy at the top. Nice. If we check out Litecoin against Bitcoin, just a good example how Bitcoin can give us some clues to the strength of a currency. We want to use the dollar and we want to use Bitcoin to check the strength. So we see here that Litecoin bounced off of this support level. We had support in May, support in June, and here again support in August. And again, at that level, I pointed out that this pattern looks similar, that we were ready for a bounce in Litecoin. And lo and behold, we bounced right off that level. And here we're coming up against some resistance from that head and shoulders pattern from June. Back here we had resistance, support. Back here we had support, and then here it broke the support and it became resistance. It broke down. It's bouncing back up again, and probably is going to find difficulty breaking this level. So this is a resistance level on Bitcoin, and we can use that to give us a clue that if it's at a resistance level on Bitcoin, and it's on a resistance level, it's at a resistance level on on the dollar, then we're probably going to see some weakness. We're probably going to see it fall back down to support. So we have resistance on two charts, on the Bitcoin chart and the US dollar chart. So that is a really good sign that the odds are not in favor of continuation. So it's not a good time to enter. It's a good time to sell if you're shorting. But for me, I'm just going to take my profits and wait until we're at its support on both charts. So those are the big players. Those are the main coins that I watch. But I also keep an eye on other coins, because if they're ripping, then you can make some good money. Here's Ripple against the dollar on Kraken. And again, I use the exchanges that have the most liquidity. So maybe on Kraken, I trade Ripple. Maybe on Bittrex, I trade Monero, or Poloniex, I trade Monero. It really depends what exchange has the most liquidity. For Ethereum and Litecoin and Bitcoin, I'm using GDAX because they have really good fee structure. If you're a maker, if you make liquidity, if you set limit orders, it's free, and the liquidity is it's really good. There's a lot of volume. But for other coins, like a lot of altcoins, other exchanges have better liquidity. So here we have Ripple, which broke down from that consolidation in early July, and it just kind of fell and kind of stuck around, kind of hung around this 16 cents, 20 cents level for a long time. Kind of went nowhere. But we saw some strength coming in. Now this is a case where I saw the strength coming in on Bitcoin first. If we go down to Bitcoin, this is where I noticed a change, because in Bitcoin, again, we had the same support level back in June, and it broke, boom, right there. And now it couldn't get back up. It changed former support, changed to resistance, and it continued its slide all the way down to this, I don't know, 0.0000 level. It doesn't even register as a number on TradingView on my decimal system, but it bounced off the support going back to April. You know, this nice support line trending up, and it bounced right there, and it started to curve up. You see that curve? It didn't. You see, when it's falling, it's always curving over, falling down. But now it curved up. That means buyers are weakening, buyers are strengthening, sellers are weakening, and you get this curve, and you see a little shoot up with relative to Bitcoin, and we use that as a signal 24-hour dollar chart, because really I trade in dollars. I don't really care at the moment. You know, I want Bitcoin to succeed, but right now I care more about how much it's compared to the dollar or the euro, because that's what I use in real life. So I'm always measuring it against the dollar or the euro. And we saw that strength in Bitcoin, which means Ripple was showing strength. And we saw that in the dollar, it was also down here around 16 cents at a support level, and that it could bounce. So I got in there, and wow, that was a great run from 16 all the way to 25. So 30% move in a couple days. And now we've fallen back, and we're hitting that support level, which was former resistance, and we're bouncing again. Now, I'm not in this one just because I wasn't paying attention, and it's a little too crazy, you know, whippy, a little too volatile, but it could show some interesting patterns. If we go down to the 60-minute chart, we see that it's bouncing off that support level at around 20 cents, and we have a really big candle there. So right now, Ripple is ripping, and what I'm going to watch for is some consolidation around here, maybe at this 22 level, which is nicely in line here with this price range over here. We see a lot of action over here. This is a place where a lot of action happens, so we can expect that in this same place now we're running into buyers and sellers, because people remember where the price went, right? The price is coming back into this range, and in this range there was a lot of buying and selling. So in this range we're probably going to get more buying and selling, and if we break out of that range, maybe we head back up. So I'll watch for, again, that one is on our radar, and we're watching for strength. And one more, let's look at Dashcoin. Dashcoin also hitting support. Don't really like the volume here. That's a really good sign of something I don't like to enter. You see the volumes are really low. Sometimes you can see the candles are don't even have a body, because no one bought or sold anything, and that's in an hour. So in 1 hour there was barely any buying or selling. So even though it may be at a support level, even though it could rip from here, I wouldn't enter, because the volume is so low. Getting in and getting out might prove difficult. But if it runs, then volume comes in, right? When things run, the volume comes in, and we have more liquidity. And we really want liquidity when we're trading, because we get better prices. So yeah, right now, basically, yeah, Bitcoin is consolidating. Again, we'll look at the 60-minute charts here, and Bitcoin is consolidating in that range. Maybe it breaks out 4,400, but right now it's just sitting around. Ethereum is going strong, chugging along like the little engine that could. To the top of that mountain, 342, about 50 more points until my target is reached. Then we have a Litecoin, which has had a pretty good run. It's been a nice winner, but again, it's up near that support, that resistance line on Bitcoin and on the dollar, so I expect it to pull back. I wouldn't jump in there either. Ripple coin looks interesting right now, actually. It's bouncing off of a support level, and we'll look for some patterns there. Maybe we see an entry point for the next leg of that run. And I like Ripple, because Ripple really crashes to the upside. And finally, we had Bitcoin Cash, and look at that Ripple, bam! Just, man, missing out on that right now. But that's another good point. If you missed the move, you know, don't get FOMO. You know, don't get the fear of missing out. Wait for your pattern, because if you wait for a pattern, your probability of winning is higher. If you just get in randomly, you're just flipping a coin. Could crash, could go further, but you have no reference point. You know, why did you enter? You need to know why you enter every trade. But yeah, that's it for today, guys. You know, leave me a comment, write me messages. I love answering questions, analyzing your trades. Tell me what you're doing. I want to know what you're doing. Let me know what you think about my trades. Please leave me a donation at one of the addresses below with Bitcoin, Litecoin, or Ethereum. And look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow.